everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome one and all to episode 171 of In Focus Friday, the show where we take a good close look at cool things made of silver or gold. Last week we did just that with the Royal Australian Mint's triangular silver coin, the Batavia Shipwreck. Very cool piece indeed, and incredibly well received with lots of positive feedback in last week's video. So if you've not checked it out, it's probably well worth a look. There's a link, as always, down in the description below. Now this week, as you can see, we're going to be having a look at this samurai-themed coin, which is unsurprisingly the winner from last week's vote. Thank you for voting if you did. The Redback Spider and the Montserrat Harp will be returning at the end of this episode with one new item. Actually, technically two. There's a yellow shiny thing and a silver shiny thing, which are brand new. So stick around to the end to have a look and cast your vote at what you want to see featured next week on In Focus Friday. But today it is all about this samurai-themed coin, and I can understand why it won the vote. I'm surprised it actually didn't win the vote over the triangular-themed Batavia coin last time, because there's some incredibly very attractive details on this particular coin, and I'm really happy to showcase it for you here today. Now, I want to put this out there right at the start here. I think that this is a fantastic coin, but I'm not saying that this is going to be a huge money earner. These type of things that have a premium attached to them, who knows? So this is not a financial advice video. I'm not sponsored or in any way at all. It's just my opinion. I think this is a really attractive and cool coin with a good theme and a fair amount of potential, but who really knows is the honest answer. Now, this is actually a coin. As you can see, it's supplied in a capsule. It's made by the Scottsdale Mint. It's actually from Fiji. It's sort of sponsored, I suppose, released by the Republic of Fiji. And here's the reverse, which looks absolutely fantastic, I have to say. Again, it's all about having interesting sides of both coins, because a lot of the time it can be quite dull on sort of the traditional coin side, where you have the country's crest or the Queen's head or something. So that's a really interesting point to start with. Now, a little bit of information about this before we crack on. So first off, it's a 1 ounce silver coin. Price point wise for these, we're sitting around, so it's a bit difficult to really kind of gauge exactly, because they've been out for a little bit of a while now, but you can certainly still buy them from a lot of fairly decent sized dealers out there, both in the US and the EU. And I'm looking at various pricings. They're around the $23.50, $24 mark at the moment for these coins. So they have obviously a little bit of a premium attached to them, but they're not overwhelmingly high in their premium. And for a mintage of only 15,000, I think that's a pretty decent price for something that's got a low mintage. That said, it's not necessarily the world's most known or sought after coin. So whilst it's got a really interesting theme, we see sort of these Eastern themed coins, these Chinese themed coins, Japanese themed coins being really popular at the moment. But I'm not sure if this is necessarily going to be in that category. Still very attractive, don't get me wrong, but I'm not entirely sure it's sort of hitting that trifecta of low mintage, decent price, with real excitement behind the design, story, etc. Now, this particular story is, I think, quite an interesting one. It's not one that I was familiar with before researching this coin, and it's nice always. I think this is one of the cool things. We have such variety in silver and in silver coinage these days that you can learn new things from these very cool designs, which I think is pretty exciting. But let's go back to the other side, because this is where kind of you learn a little bit about the story. So this fine figure of a samurai that you see depicted here in this frosted finish, which looks really cool, very fearsome looking, traditional artistic samurai. Some of you who are familiar with Japanese art might well recognize this as Taira no Kiyomori, and I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing that to any of our Japanese viewers out there. Taira no Kiyomori, who was a very famous samurai. He wasn't really technically emperor, but he was the head of Japan's first samurai-dominated government, and he never actually took the title of emperor himself, but he dominated the country's politics around the 1120s, 1150s. Well, he was born in 1118, died in 1181, so I believe he was around the 1150 AD that he was essentially ruler of Japan, which I think is fantastic. And this particular depiction of him was created in 1845 by a Japanese artist called, and again, I'm sorry for the pronunciation here, Utagawa Hiroshige, and he created a masterpiece on a wooden block which was called Taira no Kiyomori's Spectral Vision. And the idea behind this was that Taira no Kiyomori was obviously a sort of warrior samurai, and his rise to power was a pretty bloody one. Wars fought, people killed, and it's meant to be him in a spectral forest looking over these. You can see here the skulls, the snow-covered skulls, looking back at all of the bodies and people that he's had to climb over to reach that power, which I think is, it's fantastically depicted in this silver coin. I haven't seen the original piece of art or any kind of depiction of it, but I think it looks really cool. And made by the Scottsdale Mint. Now, this is one thing I want to pick up on. I've managed to find out from my safe another piece which reminds me very much of this, and that's the Hokusai Great Wave. Featured this a couple of years ago, actually. I think on my channel here. It may well have even been an In Focus Friday, one of the very early episodes. Now, this was made by the Scottsdale Mint as well, and it was also depicting a piece of Japanese art in the form of the Hokusai Great Wave. And there's a definite kind of thematic similarity here in terms of the Scottsdale Mint creating these. I think there's also... It's difficult with the light today. I'm really sorry. I mean, it looks fantastic, don't get me wrong, but the light is always awkward at this time of year with the positioning of my window and the winter light being so low in the sky. But I do think there's a similarity in kind of, character and design of the background of these particular coins, which I think is really very cool indeed. I like that they've got the Hokusai Great Wave written on the top and on that particular side, and Kiyomori on that this coin here, the Samurai coin too. So lots of nice sort of similarities there, really high quality from the Scottsdale Mint. Now, I should have said actually when I received this coin, it was in a Scottsdale Mint kind of blister pack, so their kind of traditional cardboard thing with the blister pack on it. And of course, if you want to keep these coins in that blister pack, you will always miss out on the reverse of these coins, which in this case is absolutely stunning. I'm really happy with this. It's absolutely gorgeous. The different patterns around the edge just are mesmerizing, I think, and there's a real elegance to it, which is, I guess, part of the theme of these sort of samurai themed coins there. I mean, I don't know if these particular patterns are represented on the on basically the actual piece of art, but it's certainly a marked improvement. So here's the other one. Here's the Hokusai Great Wave. You can see it's a marked improvement on that particular version there, although I do like this kind of brush matte finish on the Hokusai Great Wave. But I think this is a marked improvement. It really does look fantastic, and it's almost... It's billed as a BU coin, so it's not necessarily a proof coin, but it's got a really good finish to it, really very attractive, shiny finish. And I think it's very high quality. So well done to the Scottsdale Mint in terms of quality of production and quality control. Really excellent piece indeed. Now, these are, as I said, fairly premium coins. I said at the beginning of the episode that I think they're fantastic. I really do like them, and I love the variety that you can find in silver. This is one of the really cool things I love about silver coins in general. You can go and have this really eclectic collection of different coins. Personally, though, I do think that is essentially where it's going to end up in my collection. It's just going to be one of in an eclectic collection. It's not necessarily something that you should go out and buy lots of to stack. It could well hold value and increase in value over time. I have to say, I'm getting a bit distracted by the glorious light playing off this round at the moment. The kind of, the matte finishes here are really accentuated by the dark black of the kind of reflection that we're seeing at the angles of the sun, which looks really good. Anyway, sorry, I'm like a magpie. I get distracted by shiny things. Now, my point here is that, is this something that you should go out, rush out and buy? Well, if it means something to you, if you enjoy this kind of thematic piece of art, or if the Japanese culture is something that you really enjoy, then perhaps it's something to think about purchasing. But in terms of buying large quantities of them, I think it's a difficult one to justify buying, hundreds of these with expectations of them being very high returning pieces. Definitely one for the sort of eclectic collector, no doubt, but not necessarily one for making a huge profit on in the future. That said, I really like it. I think it's fantastic, and I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on it as well. So please feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'd love to know if you've got one. I'd love to know if this video has inspired you to pick one up as well. That would be awesome to hear. So we can put that to one side for now. Now, the two returning items from last week, we've got the redback spider, which I do apologise, I called it a redneck spider last week, which is so bad. I'm so sorry for that. It was a slip of the tongue. I really do apologise for that if anybody was offended by that. But we have the redback spider for you to vote on if you want. We've got the Montserrat harp coin to vote on if you want. These look fantastic in the light with the capsules glaring through, which is fantastic. And then we have, I think I've featured this before at some point, but we've got the silver Royal Arms coin, which I really like. Liked it so much, in fact, that I picked up the gold Royal Arms coin. So if you'd like to see a full ounce of gold, glorious gold, featured here with the Royal Arms silver as well, then vote for that. Otherwise, that's it from today. Thank you one and all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have and you like this samurai coin, then please do hit a thumbs up on this video and share it around on your social media. That would be very helpful for everything that we do here on the channel. If you want to see future episodes of In Focus Friday, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to see some of our previous videos, a playlist of over 170 videos of this series. Otherwise, that's it from me today. Thank you one and all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.